Okay, so it's been a while since we've done a Minecraft video, and you may recognize this world. I did a world tour of it a while ago. I've done quite a bit of work on it since. Um, but for today's Minecraft video, I figured we'd do something a little bit different because it's been a long time, and I just didn't feel like playing more on the survival world quite yet. So I figured I would do a little bit of a tutorial on how to make these pillar decorations instead. So yeah, that's gonna be what we're doing today. I just need to find, there's the last one we did, and there's the one we started. So yeah, I took a long break from YouTube for a while because I had a lot going on, and I had work and school starting, and school just started this week. College classes are a bit of a pain in the butt. They take up a lot of time, but they're also important and valuable to my education, so of course they are something I'm going to stick to. This corner has been a nightmare to do because there's so many trees. I didn't want to chop them all down, so I just kind of left them, but now I have the regret of having to go around every time to get back and forth. And we're going to need to clear that out. So yeah, if you guys want to do this kind of a build, it's easy to do in creative. It's decently alright to do in survival, not too super ridiculously difficult. But again, the biggest pain in the butt are the trees. And I'll do a more like detailed, this is how you do it on the next pillar, but since this one is already partially complete, I'm just kind of finishing it off. And of course I dropped that one. So yeah, as you can see, I made the wall with these kind of blank pillars of wood, and then I'm going around and bedazzling them now that they're finished with more details and stuff. And it's a little bit redundant to do this inside corner here because no one's going to see it because the wood covers it up, but I still do it because otherwise I would feel, like I wasn't doing the whole build and it would feel like I was leaving it unfinished. So it's just for my peace of mind, knowing that the build is absolutely 100% complete and that I didn't leave any gaps, even if the gaps are unseen. Not sure why that bothers me, but it does, so obviously filling in those corners are completely optional, and if you don't care, then you don't have to do it. So yeah, that's this corner finished. Our next pillar is right here. As you can see, one side is done, but I'll do a much more detailed tutorial on this side just as soon as I get down there. Yeah. So, first step, bricks. These stone brick walls, and then 2 cobblestone walls above those. And you can see on the lowest level that you have, it's 2 bricks, and then you can either dig this level down because you'd put stone stairs there, or you can leave it as dirt if you don't want to do the extra work of clearing it out. I'm actually going to be terraforming this section, so I'm going to go ahead and dig this out, as well as that part there. And of course my shovel broke and I don't have another one. And it's almost night, so put a pause on the tutorial. I should have been paying closer attention to my tools. But that's okay. We will come over here to sleep through the night because this is a survival world and we don't want to have to deal with all of the mobs that come out, and I really don't have another shovel. So, quick side trip, and I suppose while I go to get a shovel, I will try and think of a story to tell you guys from the last couple weeks. Okay, so, the ant video should have been posted by now, by the time you see this. So if you didn't watch it, you totally should. But if you did watch it, you know that a surprisingly fun thing happened at work the other day. Exactly a week ago from the day I'm recording this, but probably more than that by the time you guys see this, probably 2 weeks. I was at work. I was doing my, my job, and I had to go out into the parking lot to get carts. Because we do, people will leave their carts in the parking lot for some reason instead of putting them away. So I went out to get the carts, and I don't have a single shovel prepared already. Okay. So I went out to get carts, and an interesting thing happened. I was in the parking lot, getting carts, obviously. And there were a bunch of bugs, and I thought at first that they were bees, out hunting or maybe swarming, because bees do that. And I looked on the cart that I was currently moving inside, and there were 2 of these bees on the cart. I was looking at them, and they were awfully small to be bees, and they also were not like the normal bee colors. They weren't black and yellow, they were kind of a reddish, dusty orange. So I was like, wait a minute, those aren't bees. So I stopped and I looked closer, and what do I know? They're queen ants. So that was cool. I was really surprised. I wasn't expecting it at all. And that's when I realized that all of the insects flying around were ants. And there were hundreds of them, and I'm not joking. There literally were hundreds of them. I mean, just everywhere. So I was like, okay, well, then this is a nuptial flight, which is really awesome, especially if you're an ant keeper like me, because it's not every day that you see one. It's the first time I've ever seen like an actual nuptial flight, and it was super exciting. So after work, I got permission and I went outside and caught a bunch of ants, to bring home. And that's, I showed them off in the video. Again, if you haven't seen it, you should go watch it. It's not super terribly long. I think it's like 6.5 minutes, maybe. So yeah, not too terribly long. And I was super excited. But yeah, so I was able to take some bags from the place that I work and scoop up all these ants and bring them home. And I was super, super excited about it because they're ants. Who doesn't love ants? Except for people who don't like ants, and then, I'm sorry. But yeah, so I brought them home, and I set them up, and it was great. And they're amazing. So, back to the build tutorial. You noticed I placed down another, stone brick wall, and then the stone stairs go here. We actually need cobblestone walls, too. So, you put these here, and you put them upside down up there, except I'm messing up. Just like that. And then a row right side up underneath them to make this kind of concave section. And you do the same on both the edges too. Then you take one of these wooden pillars and build it up 3, so that when you climb up on the other one, you can still bring it the rest of the way up. Next step, 2 cobblestone walls and 2 brick walls, kind of repeating the pattern up here. And then bring the wooden pillar up on one side, go to the other side, and don't do what I just did and fall down. That's okay. If you guys couldn't tell, I haven't been playing much Minecraft recently. because I've been busy with work and school and other stuff. So it'll take me a little bit to get back in the rhythm, but that's alright because now that side is done. If you want to change up the design, you could add the stone stairs up here on this part too. I didn't just because I like the way that they look like this. They aren't perfectly symmetrical, but they aren't so unsymmetrical that it really bothers me. I think it's just the right balance of similar but not exact. And you can see when I stretched the pillars, I just stretched the wall, the top part. I didn't do more of the bands of stairs. But that again is something that you could change in the design. If you wanted to make it taller, you could duplicate the band of stairs going all the way up. We'll get rid of that now. And for this one, it'll be kind of more complicated because we have these steps right here. And I haven't really made up my mind about whether to get rid of them or not. Because as it stands right now, yeah, we're going to get rid of them because that just looks stupid. Okay. And one there. This one is going to be a little bit tricky because it's got the water as well. It's also 3 full sides. So you got to kind of build this up on the sides, unfortunately, and cover up all the beautiful wood because we need to be able to put the walls all on the same level. So when I do 3 sides at once, I just kind of go around with each step on all the sides. So the next step will be these stairs right here and right here. And the next step will be cobblestone walls. And there's 2 of them, so 2, 2, oh geez, 2, 2, and you can see that's going to be where this pattern ends on this side. And from there, I usually split the design, and just do one side at a time because it's easier to focus that way, for me at least. Or if you want to keep going back and forth between the 2, go for it. But then we have the band of stairs going around and the wood. Up 3. Cobblestone. Bring the wood the rest of the way up. And stone walls. And I'm gonna have to replace this stone slab once we're done. Going up. And there we go. Another side done. Back over on this side. We need to bring the wood up from down here. We'll just take it up already. Oh, nope, not like that though. Boom. Okay, and stone stairs. We need to do the one on this side, and then the one, oh, not like that though. There. Except I messed it up again. This gets really tedious, especially when you do it on the scale that I've done, because, every misplace just takes up so much time to fix. It really gets quite frustrating. So I usually work on it for an hour, and then just have to stop because you're doing the same thing over and over again, and no matter how many times you do it, you will still mess up because it's such an easy thing to mess up. yeah, usually in an hour I can do 3 or 4 pillars. Maybe 5 or 6. I don't know. It's really hard to tell. But yeah, so it's taken at least 5 hours to do these pillars around here so far. Especially at the beginning, it took a really long time to try and figure out the pattern. This section here took a really long time because I had to replan the pattern because the wall was taller before deciding to just go with it and keep the pattern the same. And then this section has actually gone really fast. Maybe an hour for all of these pillars right here. So that's cool. It definitely, every so often I have to stop and restock, which is why I have all these mules and donkey. They have all of the base blocks that I'm using. So, like this mule has a bunch of wood. This one has a bunch of stone, or cobblestone. This one has a bunch of stone, wood, stone, and the donkey has more cobblestone. So, plenty of blocks. I'm pretty sure it's enough to finish. Well, maybe not. It should at least be close to finishing. At least close to finishing the wall. Have enough blocks there. And then let me go get the stone cutter. Is over there. Every so often I move it along. And, I'm gonna move it to the other side of the river along with all of the mules and the bed and everything because now we're starting on the other side of the river. Yeah, and then I'll probably do one more pillar just to show you guys, and that'll be that half a pillar, 4 pillars. 4 pillars done in the time that I made this video, which is actually really good time, all things considered, especially considering I had to go and get a shovel. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think because I like the design, but I'm always interested to know if other people like it too. And I cannot see anything. All my mules are running away. You'll notice the donkey actually has a saddle because I should have done this before getting on the donkey. Okay. We drag him back across the bridge. I use the donkey just like I'm using him now, where I ride the donkey backwards and the mules fall off the bridge. But that's okay so long as he doesn't get caught under the bridge. Boom. Just like that. And it's kind of hard to steer because you have to remember where you're going. But we got it just fine. And that's how I move all these donkeys and mules. They're not actually donkeys, they're mules. But, nope, don't put it in there. And then you just tie the donkey up too. Boom. All right. Back to what we were supposed to be doing. So, again, it's in the water. We'll have to build up the terrain around it a little bit. Along these parts. If you want to, you can spread the dirt blocks down here to make it look more sloped. I might mess around with that a bit off camera, and if I ever do an update again on this world, which I probably will, then you guys will see it all smoothed out then. Because as it is, you know, you've got like this sloping terrain and then just boom, straight down dirt wall. So yeah, that's another thing to think about when you're doing these builds, how to make it look nice as well as be easy to make and replicate. so that you can do it all the time. And really, building in Minecraft is one of those things where you just kind of have to do it, and as you go, make changes. So the first pillar I did like this, it took me 45 minutes, because I would do the pillar, and then I wouldn't like the design, so I'd tear it down and redo it. And you just do that over and over again until you have something you like. And that's one of those things where with time, the more you do something, the easier it is to do again. And the more you build in Minecraft, the better you know your style, and the easier it is for you to create patterns that you like, and patterns that you enjoy making. And the better you get at making those patterns, and making them well. So a lot of people always, ask, and it's the same for artists too, I'm sure. You get asked a bunch, like, oh, how did you get so good at it? And the answer really is, I sat there for 45 minutes building, destroying, and rebuilding and redesigning until I had something that I thought was good enough, and then just kept doing it over and over again. That's all it is. And some people don't have the patience for that, and I get that, because it takes a lot of patience to do something like this. I'm out of wood. But it's also one of those things where if you're willing to take the time, then you can make something you like, and you can make something that you're proud of. But you have to be willing to put in the time and effort. And that's, it might be a little bit of a slap in the face to say, well, you've got to be willing to put in the effort. But at the same time, it's true. If you don't put in the time and effort, you'll never get better at it, and you'll always wonder where you went wrong and how they're so much better than you, when you could be just as good or better, if you just put the time and effort into it. So that's my little rant. But yeah, it's definitely one of those things where finding your style takes a while, and getting good at your style of building takes a while. Because even once you find your style and know what you like to build, you still need to learn how to build it. And Minecraft is one of those things where you can watch tutorials, but I at least enjoy learning by doing a lot more. And that, that just takes a lot more time, a lot more trial and error. So it really just kind of depends on you guys. If you guys take the time, or have the time, and really push yourselves and work at it, you guys can build super cool things too. I mean, I've been doing this for years, and that's why I do such large builds, and why it takes absolutely forever, but I have a lot of fun with it, and you guys could do it too. So that's another pillar done, and I think we're gonna call it for the video, at least soon. I know I said I was gonna come back to YouTube a lot sooner than I did, and I'm sorry about that. I got a lot going on. If you guys followed me on Twitter, you saw that we had a incident where we had to go to the hospital the other week. Everyone's okay, but it was one of those things where it just kind of added extra stress. My plan was to start producing videos last week, and I couldn't do it. So I put it off a little bit longer, and now we're back. And school has started, work is going. So we'll try and cram videos in there. I'll usually pre-record, so like this video and the ant video were both recorded on the same day. But they'll be posted probably 2 or 3 days apart. And that way I can keep a consistent flow of content, even if my week gets busy, or at least a close to consistent. Because if I miss recording, then it'll say there'll be a gap, like a little extra gap between videos, but it shouldn't be too bad. So, excuse me. I yawned. So yeah, I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you guys like this kind of sort of update tutorial video. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.